Now, according to the International Monetary Fund, corruption and fraudulent activities may reduce a country's GDP by at least 0.5%. Certified fraud examiners at an annual conference in Lagos say with the increase in adoption of artificial intelligence and other disruptions to improve organizational performance, there is the need to set up structures and strategies in place to checkmate any loopholes that can be exploited by fraudsters. We have details in this report.
The role of a certified financial fraud examiner is clear. The professional is to unearth frauds in financial transactions and fraud schemes. No individual or business entity is totally immune to falling prey to fraudulent activities. This gathering of certified fraud examiners at this technical session is to set standards even higher in fraud management, assisting in investigations and prosecution.
First, we must understand that corruption is endemic in our society. So it behooves on us as stakeholders to get to define and refine our knowledge in terms of how we can, in our little corners, be able to help the society get out of this corruption pandemic, as it were.
Apart from about 7 technical sessions and 5 general sessions, they will also learn the culture of networking among members to leverage on the expertise of other members, because the forensic is very huge. Some people are in digital, some people are in time of audit.
Just at the press of a button, your money can move out, your financial transactions can be at risk, and artificial intelligence is now speaking more. You speak to some machines, you get reply. You tell them to do some things, they do it, and that is telling us that fraudsters are also getting more advanced in what they do.
The group further highlights that the practice of financial fraud examination still seems new in Nigeria, despite reports of unchecked fraudulent acts which have led to loss of huge funds over the years. They therefore call for an increased adoption of the practice in both private and public organizations.
In most organizations where we have fraud examiners, they seem to see them as just like internal auditors. They're not seeing them as people that are adding value to the organization. They're not seeing them as people that are preventing the occurrence of loss, financial loss, economic loss in the way they do their rights. So I think we're not yet there the way we are. We can do more, we can do better.
My advice to them is that they should work towards improving on their professionalism as fraud experts. Those that have certified should put in their best in the various institutions they work to ensure that fraud is reduced to the barest minimum, considering the consequences of fraud we have in these institutions and the name they give to this country in terms of fraud management.
According to recent reports from Transparency International, Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa still remain at the top 20 countries perceived as most corrupt on the continent.